Straight ahead on CCX News, 2 elderly residents in Robbinsdale assaulted in broad daylight. What police want others to know. Then, the next suburb to consider raising the tobacco sales age, where the city of Plymouth stands. And a Golden Valley school with a new leader in charge. After a scathing audit, why there's now optimism for the state-funded art school. CCX News starts right now. Hello and thanks for joining us. We begin with a crime alert from the Robbinsdale Police Department.
This comes after an elderly man was assaulted and an elderly woman was robbed. The 2 incidents happened recently near 38th and Hubbard Avenues. In the first case, 2 men tried to steal a man's wallet.
It got to the point where physical force was used, and that's what's concerning. In that incident, we had 2 younger men, late teens, maybe early 20s, who had ran up to a man walking and actually physically pushed him down.
In the second incident, a woman was walking down the street when a man grabbed her purse and ran in the other direction. What's more disturbing is that these crimes occurred in the daytime. Police are putting extra patrols in the area. They're also using cameras. Meanwhile, police are warning people to be on the lookout for anything suspicious.
Pay attention to who's around you, any noises that you might hear. Anyone in your homes. If you see somebody you don't recognize out in your neighborhood, give us a call.
Police say they don't believe the suspects were armed, and if you have any information, you are asked to give Robbinsdale Police a call. The legal age to purchase tobacco products in Minnesota is 18, but some local cities are now considering raising the age to 21.
Plymouth is the latest city to consider whether to adopt the policy. Delane Cleveland joins us now with more. Delane?
Yeah, Mike and Alex, Edina adopted the Tobacco 21 policy earlier this year. And starting October 1st, St. Louis Park will become the second city to raise the tobacco sales age. Tuesday night in Plymouth, the City Council will discuss the pros and cons of adopting a similar ordinance.
Really, the council, though, is going to answer some broad questions. What is the city's role in regulating the age to purchase tobacco in the community? Is this something that's best regulated by the state? And if this is a local ordinance at some point in time, what effect might it have?
Plymouth City Council has scheduled a special meeting Tuesday night to discuss the city's role in tobacco policy. A number of groups in favor of increasing the tobacco sales age have reached out to the city. They argue that raising the sales age will help prevent young people from smoking and ultimately save lives. However, tobacco license holders in cities with the Tobacco 21 ordinance argue that it hurts their business because consumers just go to neighboring cities. In the meantime, Plymouth officials stress that there is no proposed ordinance and that Tuesday will simply be a broad discussion.
One of the big questions that the City Council is going to try and answer is whether or not this should be a city-specific policy or if this should be a statewide policy. And we're hoping to get some feedback from the Council's interest in making it or advocating for it at the statewide level or having just a Plymouth-specific ordinance.
And while that discussion is happening in Plymouth, the city of Robbinsdale will host a public hearing on whether to implement several tobacco regulations, which include raising the sales age to 21, limiting flavored tobacco to adult-only shops, and setting a minimum price for cigars. Mike?
All right, Delane, thank you. Well, now to Robbinsdale, which is looking at the first market-rate apartment building in years that's not senior living. The Beard Group is proposing a 132-unit apartment complex near Citizens Independent Bank. It would have views of Crystal Lake, and the developer is asking for a Hennepin County grant and may request tax increment financing. The Robbinsdale Economic Development Authority will hear the details about it on Tuesday evening. In New Hope tonight, the city plans to pick up the garbage debate that continues to stir passions. It's expected the City Council will keep its open garbage collection system, which lets residents choose their hauler. That's compared to an organized collection system, which limits choice but reduces wear and tear on the streets. In recent years, cities like Brooklyn Park and Brooklyn Center also considered changing to an organized collection system, but ended up dropping the idea.
The lengthy road construction project on Brookdale Drive in Brooklyn Park is still dragging on. The contractor was supposed to finish the job before Labor Day, but that did not happen. Brookdale Drive was ground down and milled on Saturday to get the road ready for paving, but that has been delayed because of Monday's rain. The project is less than a mile long and hopefully will be finished soon. Until then, the contractor is being fined daily until it's complete.
I think the contractor at a certain point, they're going to have to get this done because we're going to fine them. And other cities look at these things. So when contractors are applying for contracts here or other cities, we'll do reference checks. And if we find out there's a pattern, it does impact a contractor's ability to get other work. And so we just want a project done. We don't want to have fines. We just want it done and completed.
This summer, Brooklyn Park had 17 miles of road construction. This is the only project that was not completed on time.
After 9 months of detours, drivers here will finally get back another option when traveling to the Southwest Metro. Highway 169 reopens on Wednesday following the completion of the 9-mile Creek Bridge in the Edina-Hopkins-Minnetonka area. You may recall MnDOT decided to shut down the highway for a single construction year to get the work done rather than spread it over 2 or 3 construction seasons. The bridge reopens at 5 a.m. on Wednesday. Perpich Arts High School in Golden Valley has a new executive director.
He faces a tremendous challenge after a legislative audit released earlier this year pointed out management issues and declining enrollment. Reporter Shannon Slatton sat down with new executive director Kurt Trigstad, who is optimistic about the future of the school.
These kids are high academic flyers, but they're also exceptionally gifted artists in their own way.
If you've never set foot in the doors of the Perpich Center, you can tell right away that it is a high school like none other. The artwork on the lockers that line the halls are a true testament to the school's unique identity.
Feels good to be back in the arts.
New executive director Kurt Trigstad started off his career in education as a band director and participated in professional development programs that Perpich offers to educators.
I feel good about where we're headed. Probably wouldn't have signed on had I not believed that we can make a difference.
Trigstad says the school year is off to a good start, and the Perpich board and staff are working to address challenges pointed out by the legislature, like declining enrollment.
If we wanted 200 kids here this year, we probably could have been there, but that wouldn't be our role either. We need to keep the standards high, and I firmly believe by keeping standards high and holding that banner strong, that kids will come here. If you water it down, then you never can go back.
Enrollment this year is up, and Trigstad will use his background in rural Minnesota education to increase outreach.
Let people know what we have to offer. Instead of assuming that they're going to come to us, we need to go to them.
Plus, staff will be developing a new marketing plan for students and educators that will help promote the school and professional programming.
We'll do our absolute best to be the promise that Perpich can be and should be.
In Golden Valley, Shannon Slatton, CCX News.
Another focus is better utilizing technology not only in the classrooms at Perpich, but in the outreach and professional development workshops that happen across the state.
Still ahead on CCX News, exposing more students to manufacturing jobs.
And these aren't your grandfather's manufacturing jobs. We'll show you next. Plus, Osseo and Champlin Park battled down to the wire in a good prep football matchup.
But first, definitely more fall-like. More showers possible with highs in the lower 60s. From the clothes we wear to the devices we use, the manufacturing industry is key to our daily lives.
And like any industry, manufacturing requires a healthy workforce. In this week's Business Matters, a Plymouth company knows one way to ensure that is to introduce students to the careers manufacturing offers.
Yes, this is the CNC code that's running through the machine. Right here we're showing the actual positions of the machine.
Step inside today's manufacturing world and you'll quickly find these are not your grandfather's manufacturing jobs.
It used to be thought of as this dark, dirty, dingy place. It's dangerous.
Every other year, Plymouth company Productivity Inc. throws open its doors to students, mainly high school and college, inviting them to get an up-close look at the manufacturing industry and the many companies within it.
I think kids are finally realizing what manufacturing is all about, and the fact that they say they want to be into technology careers. This is technology.
From robotics to software engineering, today's manufacturing combines equipment and skills that are a far cry from the factory jobs of the past.
So in 8th grade, we had to do a research project on a type of engineering. So I don't know, it just kind of clicked, like, oh, this is cool, I'd like to do this.
Kennedy Kopitsky has her sights on becoming an engineer, possibly in the medical device field. Before today, manufacturing brought to her mind a production line, but she's rethinking that.
There's lots of software involved, like you need to know how to use a computer and know how to do math and physics and chemistry and things like that.
Right now we're making a rotor for a heart pump for a local manufacturer here in Minnesota.
A machine such as this one can be used to produce pieces for the medical industry. And there's jobs to be had programming and operating it.
Manufacturing careers, there's so many different pathways you can go. It's not just standing at a machine, operating a machine.
That's a key message for students as the manufacturing industry looks to grow its pipeline of jobs. And more than 1,100 students from the upper Midwest attended the manufacturing event in Plymouth. Still ahead, more than 50 good reasons to want to be on CCX News.
But first, local teams battle against some great competition at a huge cross-country meet at the University of Minnesota. John Jacobson has the details next in sports.
I'm John Jacobson with sports. The Griak Invitational cross-country meet hosted by the University of Minnesota features a number of collegiate and high school races as top teams from around Minnesota and across the country come to the Twin Cities. Highlights first from the Gold Division Boys 5K race with over 430 runners at the start. Wayzata, the lone team from the CCX viewing area. The winner in the boys gold, Derek Peters of West Central High School in South Dakota, his winning time 15 minutes 49.43 seconds. Among this next group coming in on the right, Khalid Hussein and Andrew Brandt of Wayzata in 11th and 12th place. Grant Matthews of Wayzata places 14th from the Trojans, who placed second. Wayzata's girls strong again this season. They're currently ranked in the state first right now, and they are in the girls' gold 5K race. The winner there, Emily Covert of Washburn, comes in 18 minutes 13 seconds. Coming through middle of your screen there in blue, Emma Atkinson of Wayzata placing 11th. Her teammate Caroline Sasson not far behind in 14th. And Champlin Park's boys competed in the maroon division. They bring home hardware, placing third. Here's what one of Wayzata boys had to say about the Trojans' second place finish.
We were coming here looking for the W. You know, some of our guys like didn't have the best race, but kind of the heat kind of affected us in ways we didn't expect. But you know, we held on. We managed to lose by only, I think it was like 15 or 20 points, which is, I mean, compared to like the second team in the country, I mean, it's a big confidence booster.
Here are the scores, starting with the boys' gold. Great Oak High School of California beats Wayzata by 25 points. Dowling Catholic of Iowa is third, followed by Edina and Minnetonka. Hussein of Wayzata is the top local boy. Naperville North of Illinois edges Great Oak for the girls' gold title, with Wayzata in a solid third place. Emma Atkinson of the Trojans, the top local girl. Because of the heat, the distances were shortened for the maroon division races. Champlin Park is third behind Notre Dame Academy of Green Bay, Wisconsin, and Bellevue, Iowa. Benilde places fifth. Peter Lynch of Benilde is the top local finisher. Becker wins the girls maroon. Providence Academy, the top area girls team, placing 16th, with Rogers, Champlin Park, and Patino Grace also in the meet. Emily Meyer, Patino Grace, places 10th overall. In football, Champlin Park edged Osseo in the final seconds of their game a year ago. Friday night's contest was pretty similar. The Orioles and the Rebels both came into their Week 4 clash with 2-1 records. First quarter, and Champlin Park quarterback Joey Folds finds a big hole up the middle, and the senior goes 38 yards for a touchdown to give Champlin Park an early 7-0 lead. Osseo would answer on its next drive. Griak throwing to Maurice Nelson over the middle. 15 yards for a touchdown. Osseo ties it up. A safety later gives the Orioles a 9-7 lead after one. Second quarter, it's Reggie Dupree taking the handoff, breaking one tackle, and goes around end for 12 yards in the score. Orioles play a strong first half. They lead at 16-7. Third quarter, the Rebels find the end zone again on Ernest Wardlow's 8-yard run. He rushes for 94 yards on the night. Fast forward to the final minute of the fourth quarter. Peyton Oy kicks one through from 33 yards out, and it's 17-16 Rebels. Champlin Park adds 2 interceptions in the final 55 seconds of play, and they rally for a 17-16 win. The Rebels are at Blaine on Friday. Brooklyn Center started the football season with 2 wins before getting beat by Spectrum. The Centaurs look to get back into the win column when they hosted Concordia Academy. After an early Concordia safety, Brooklyn Center takes the lead. Davia Gabor scrambles left, appears to be in trouble, but stops and then lost this pass. Junior Kai in the back of the end zone has it for a touchdown, and it's 6-2 Centaurs. That's the halftime score. Third quarter, 4th and goal. Gabor hits Charles Wiley. He's just over the goal line before being driven back. The touchdown, and it's 12-2 BC. They'll add to the lead in a well-thrown fade pattern. Gabor to Kai for the touchdown. This time the point after is good, and it's 19-2 Brooklyn Center. Concordia isn't done though. Quarterback Casey Hackett takes off and gets to the end zone for the Beacons. And they pull within 19-10 after making a 2-point conversion. But the Centaurs strike again late in the third on a play-action pass from Gabor to Wiley. Brooklyn Center wins 26-10 to improve to 3-1. We'll have a look ahead to Week 5 in the prep football season later this week here on CCX News. And that is all for sports. Mike and Alex, back to you.
A lot of fun. Thanks, John. Up next, some of the best smiles Plymouth has to offer.
And we'll be right back.
Well, finally, it was a warm weekend for a parade, no doubt, but that didn't stop folks in Plymouth from coming out on Saturday.
And nearly 50 people sent in pictures as part of our Put Me on TV campaign. We've been doing this with parade watchers all summer long, and we thank you for sending in the photos. Many were used during our live parade coverage on Saturday. Here's a look at the 3 winning photos, which were chosen at random. We will contact the winners by email, and they will get prize packages worth more than $50. You and I were out there on Saturday.
We were out there giving out these fans. I don't know how many of these we gave out, but boy, I'm telling you, on Saturday it was a little steamy, and they
needed it.
They got good use, not just like this, but a lot of them like this.
Yes,
Keep the sun out of the eyes.
the sun out of the eyes.
So thank you everybody for sending in those photos.
That's it for us. Thanks so much for joining us.
And we'll see you back here again Tuesday, starting at 4.